Hi everyone, I'm Echoes and I'm a VTuber. And I will be going over episode 1 of Hat Atelier, finally. Sorry for the wait. As mentioned before, it's taking a little bit to catch up on things, just because I have a few other things I have to do, like my homework and stuff for my class, but I am taking some time to catch up. So I'm really excited to talk about Witch Hat in particular, because it's a series that has a lot of meaning to me. As someone who previously worked on the scanlation team, as a proofreader for some of the manga chapters, obviously unofficial, of course, but if you're interested, you could see that I'm credited in some of the more recent chapters before the transition to focusing on promoting the simulpop. That's one correct term there. But yeah, anyway, let's get started and I'll go break down the details. All right. So the beginning, we kind of get essentially the beginning part of the chapter where there's this really, in the manga, there's this really beautiful illustration that covers, like, essentially, are people born a certain way to become a certain way, right? Like, is an athlete from the day they are born? You can't know what you'll be at birth. I think what she says here, then what about witches, right? So, and that's the mystery that will be resolved by the end. And we get this the beginning part where she essentially is doing some laundry at the spring. You have the butterfly, which I think appears a few times. You see she's pouring some, I believe, some like soap powder into the spring to do her laundry here. Very beginning of the first chapter of the manga, which is really nice. It's also very beautifully done. Like, it's from the forest to the water. And you can see that the animal's waiting for her to be finished. And the spring is touching magic because essentially once she's done, it clears up. But what I think actually this is that it's technically it's kind of a magic one, kind of not. But based on this, I always thought that there's some sort of mechanism in the spring itself. So essentially, it when there's a weight on it, it doesn't do anything. But when the weight's removed, the spring resets. That's at least personally what I think it is. It's not that it like purifies the spring. It's a reset spell, I think, where it resets the water to its previous state. I may explain more by the end, but that's actually what I think the spring does. It's but it is a weight mechanism. So then the animal drinks here, and then she's done. It's like, oh, it's beautiful every time I see it. The world brings magic, an essential and handy miracle. But how it works is unknown. Oh yeah, and it's also cool, like, we have all these animals and stuff here. And that she's walking on her way home, and ordinary people can only be blessed with it. And it's like, must be nice born being a witch. She's doing laundry, and she's pretending she's doing a spell. But then she has to catch the sheet. And then the Pegasus carriage comes to shop at her house. Or at her family store. And then she goes down, and she has this book with her, which we'll explain later. And then she's looking for her mom. It's like, oh, sorry, I didn't know you're there. Oh my, I can't believe it. And you can see that these noblewomen are looking at the really beautiful embroidery here. And we're right to travel all the way by Pegasus carriage, and like, oh, they're the people who came. And she asks him, was like, oh, are you part of, essentially, alluding, are you part of, like, he's like, no, I'm not. And then you can see that he here is requesting some what do you call it? Is it ash covered? Oh, smoke colored fabric, most likely to perhaps make a new cloak for himself. And then Coco volunteers to help, and he's like, and then she asks if she could look at the Pegasus carriage later. You better not mess with them. It's like, And then she begs her mom, is like, I won't say I want to be a witch anymore. She said, okay, you can take a look at it. And she's like, only when you're done with your work. And it's like, yep, yay. And then here, she's helping him out. Like, thanks for waiting. What are your measurements? And then you can see that he gives them to her. And then we then are introduced to Coco's, one of her greatest strengths is that she is extremely good at drawing straight lines. Why is this important? It will be explained later. Anyway, straight lines is truly a magical skill. Okay. And yeah, and then she cuts it for him. But yeah, but regardless, like something really beautiful is that there's quite a lot of attention to detail here, from how she cuts when she's pulling the cloth from the shelf right before the scene right here. It's really beautiful as well. It's like incredibly done with a lot of care, which I am very happy with. It's like, oh, your ability to cut such straight lines shows you're a true craftsman. Like, no, magic goes way better. You like magic, don't you? And then we get this flashback scene, which is pretty important. When I was little, I went to a festival at the castle. And then she was led by a butterfly to this man here. And you there, would you like to buy a magic picture book? No picture book, what's magic? And then he introduces it here. Pegasus carriage. Cobblestones. And lighting up stones when you walk, it's all magic. And then she gets the book with the pen. And then she's with her mother, like, oh, but I thought you wanted to roast the strawberries. And he's like, I followed a butterfly. There's a person with a pointed hat. Okay, let's go home. If I grow up, I'm going to be a witch that makes our world vibrant. Can't become a witch unless you're born with magical powers, which the general worldview here. And like, let's go home. And then she says, what's a little sad is that if the ground shines all the way home, then maybe you're a witch. But you can see when she's walking her mother, there's no such thing happen. And then you can see, oh, Kiffer's like, can you tell me more about probably the book or something? And then they hear a crash outside, and Coco rushes outside. You can see that the village boys were messing with the carriage. Like, look what you've done. What happened? We didn't do anything. It fell apart on its own, which is wrong. And you can see that the boys are explaining that the dark-haired boy crawled under it and then probably messed with it. He hit his head and then it fell over. Like, how awful. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry for the trouble. Plotting won't change anything. The Pegasus carriage was our father's. How are we going to get home, essentially? And then this guy's like, oh, would you like me to fix it? And then, who are you supposed to be? And it's like, and then you can see that he introduced himself. I'm sorry. I would help if I had my signature hat on. And then puts his cap on. In English, it actually quite works a little better. He words it really nicely. And he puts on his hat. My name is Kifri. I am a witch. I think it's like Kifri or Kifri. It's one of them. And then you can see this is his cool introduction. Now Kifri is introduced, the guy who has been all over Twitter for being very hot. And by all means, he's older than Gojo, so he's very different from him in a lot of ways, but they have, I guess, similar vibes, I suppose. In the pointed hat, and he's going to help with reapplying the spell on the floorboard. And then Coco says that they could use the workshop. And he's like, oh, he's a real witch. And she wants to see when a spell is being cast, but he says that, oh, I need some privacy, all that stuff. And she's guarding outside. Make sure no one's looking while I'm casting the spell. Life isn't easy. So why can't we watch how it's done? Magic is all of the rule. Witches are the only ones who know the secret. And you can see this is a flashback when she has the wand in the book. And she's the neighborhood boys are trying to peek in. It's like, hey, what are you doing? And then when they're trying to peek in, you see that the curtains are covered. It's like, no fun. And it's like, is there no way I could see the magic? And then one of, the laundry comes off, and then she has an idea. When she looks up, she's like, oh, I could look from, the hidden area above on the top of the house. And then she sneaks in. from the top to look at him through the I guess the what's it called? Not really window. It's more like, I guess, through the boards, I suppose. And she's watching him now. And this is where she learns about the secret that he's actually drawing, right? Magic is not something you're born with, you cast, it's something that you draw. Like, and then he's like, Coco, I'm done. And then she's like, pretty bad from getting here. She's like, okay, good work. And then the Pegasus carriage goes away. And then she talks with the mom here. So I'm a bit relieved, you know. You love magic so much. So I thought you'd say you want to go with the witch. If you left me two-eyed, won't leave you alone. It's like, thank you, you're such a sweet girl. And they have a nice meal together and they have say goodnight. But you can see that now she has eaten the forbidden fruit. It's like, I know the secret now, I can do something. And then you can see that naturally, she popped up the calf and it comes a pen. There's always a pen, by the way. It's just that she didn't know the secret, so she obviously wouldn't know otherwise. And then the back is the ink. When wand wasn't just a bonus that came with the book. The pen itself was the magic wand. And now you can see that she's drawing and she's, you know, you can see she's showcasing her skill of straight lines. And then she's using the book to try spells since she knows the secret. But it looks like she it's like oh boy, nothing's happening. But then when she connects the circle with that ink drop here, then the spell activates. And it creates fireworks, which is the first spell here. You can see here she's like jumping around. It's like, oh my god, it's so good. But I wasn't supposed to find out when he gets mad at me. It's like, and then she just keeps going. And then we see Kiefer here. It's like, picture book. What could it be? Then she's found a fire spell. And then she learns at least some of the basic. Bigger spells are stronger than smaller ones. Newly drawn ones last longer than sloppily drawn ones. And then here we get, oh boy, the forbidden spell. This one right here above that dragon. Oh, even I looking at it, I don't even understand what it says. But yeah, essentially, yeah, more complicated spells lead to more complicated results, essentially. And then this is why she decides to trace it over as the easy way of, you know, getting the result that she wants. But when she finishes, Kifri finds her and sweeps her out. It's like, what spell did you draw? And it's like, I don't know, I just traced the pattern that was on the book. And you can see that crystal, the thing is that the spell creates crystals, which her mom is like looking for. It's like, run. She's telling her to run, but her mom gets trapped in the spell. And now she's like trying to go to her mom here. She's like kicking at Kifri. He's like, no, you said it's a spell. And then she drops, but is caught by Kifri before, you know, she does. She's trying to reach her mom, but then gets pulled away by Kifri because essentially if, you know, she gets entangled in the spell, she's going to be caught in it too. She's like, I'm sorry, I didn't know. And then Kifri's like, special ink is a set of casting spells. It's all you need to become a witch. Now you found out, I have to erase your memories. It's like, but forget everything, who will save my mom? And then she's like, I don't remember what kind of magic I drew, but I know what was written in the picture book by heart. It was her favorite book after all. That's right. And then she was like, oh, maybe we could do something else. And obviously she knows what page she copied. Oh, we could find the same book. We could find the casting seal I drew. Can you save my mom if we find which casting seal it was? And then there might be a chance to do that. It's like, you can see that he's like pondering over whether to erase her memories or not. It's like, please don't erase my memories. I'll do anything to save my mom. Are you willing to learn? It's like, learn what? Once you learn the truth, it can't be undone. From now on, you'll become a witch. And then we get the close book sequence here. And then the next episode. But yeah, overall, like, it's a very good adaptation, I believe, of the first chapter. Because the thing is that Witch Hat's first chapter is 60 pages. There's some changes, though, made to it, which I'll explain real quick. It's pretty much mostly faithful, but they essentially, I believe, they added a few extra scenes. Like, for example, ones I'm sure were extra scenes was flashbacks and porn. They added a little more scenes with the mom, if I can remember correctly. So, for example, let's see, I'm trying to remember. Oh, like here, essentially where her mom's like, "Oh, I thought you were gonna go with him, because you want to become a witch." So that I believe was added, and then they also added the scene with her mom eating together and then going off to bed. That I believe is new. And then also here was at the end. They actually, at least from what I've read, I haven't read the first chapter in a while, but essentially the scene where Kifri catches her was originally in the manga a bit more comedic, but in this one they actually made it more serious, which I think is more suitable for the scene. So you see, so because the thing is that in the manga she doesn't actually like fall when or dropped by Kifri, right? But this was added to the anime, I think, for the sense of drama, I believe, because it creates a lot more of a dramatic moment where you could see that she's definitely trying to save her mom, which wasn't in the manga, and Kifri is trying to grab her and stuff. So I believe those two are new scenes. I think the rest is pretty much the same from what I remember. But yeah, it's overall really good though, because very faithful, but and also it's animated beautifully. It's like pretty much a perfect adaptation of the first chapter. So that overall is very good. But yeah. Anyway, hope you guys all looked forward or happy with me talking about this, and I'll quickly work on the next episode. So yeah, thanks for watching.